This new studio is the industry standard. We're working with equipment that the pros are using. It's been amazing to see the interest level.
When I was a student and working for ESPN, it was quite the opportunity. It gave me so many chances to build my resume, so many chances to try things I didn't even know were out there. I never knew I wanted to do anything like this when I was first a student. The fact that we have a production room that's worth what it is right now, and the fact that we have the opportunity to work this every single game and work with this equipment is just unreal.
It is an absolutely invaluable experience for any striving student who is looking to go on into the field of not only live television broadcasting, but specifically for live sports broadcasting. So as far as opportunities for students to come on in here and work alongside some true professionals, to work along with ESPN, to work along with the Missouri Valley Conference, this is an absolute diamond.
I remember Ron talking end of last season how he was wanted to make a room that was ESPN certified, one that would be up to ESPN standards. And I remember thinking in my head during after one of the games when he brought that up, how that's a great 5-year plan. Maybe we'll get a camera next year or a new piece of equipment the year after that. And then amazingly, this summer he starts emailing us pictures showcasing, hey, this is the new rack they're building. They're going to install it in the fall. And here's all the new equipment manuals. Start reading up, getting to learn the new equipment, the new software we're going to be using. And it's honestly, it's kind of just amazing where things have gone.
So now we've got a brand new studio with new state-of-the-art equipment. This is the industry standard of what most sports broadcasting companies are using today.
With the new room, there's obviously a lot more opportunities, more positions to fill, and also we just have more crew members now. Previous years, we could barely cover some positions to where we had maybe 2 cameramen and then the replay operator, and then Carl directing. Now there's a lot more, and with more people, it also gives us opportunity to teach people. Previously, because we didn't have enough people, I couldn't teach anybody else to do replay. Now I've been able to teach other students how to run replay, and we kind of have this pool to draw from. Instead of just depending on one person, we have more people to do that. And again, it's also opened it up because I was able to teach somebody, I could move on to something else to where I learned graphics, just another component of it. And then, I'm also training other people on that, just so everyone's cross-trained a little bit, so we can all help out in different ways and all kind of know what's going on, so no one's completely in the dark if something goes wrong in a production.
I've been involved with the web streaming and live video casting at Valparaiso University. This is my 8th year now. So I've been involved nearly from the very beginning, back when we worked with the Horizon League and then making the transition into today with the Missouri Valley Conference. When I came in, we were mainly looking at athletes that worked on staff here at Valparaiso Athletics who would be plugged into positions that maybe normally they wouldn't even have thought of doing before. Have you ever run a camera? No, I've never run a camera. Well, it's fun. Would you like to try it? So we had to recruit people, more or less, that weren't even interested necessarily in the field of live television, in the field of live sports broadcasting.
I've been with the ESPN Productions at Valparaiso for about 3 years now. Started back in 2015 when the previous coordinator had got a hold of me saying that he needed to fill some positions. The main one he was looking to fill was the replay.
When I started off, I was mopping floors. And then one day they asked me if I wanted to run a camera, if I had ever run a camera. And I had once or twice for some school projects, but nothing really that I thought would amount to anything. And then I went in, Carl had me work on camera 2, or the Hero Cam, and he liked that I remembered the second time I came back a month later, I remembered how to set everything up, and he appreciated someone that actually remembered that.
I remember previously Carl was director. He was directing, he was producing, he was running graphics, running audio, running local commercials. He was doing it all pretty much by himself, and he loved it, he enjoyed it. But it also kind of limited the productions in a way because he couldn't do everything, even though he tried to and he enjoyed doing it.
Back then, we normally had just one person sitting in a director's chair responsible for directing, technical directing, producing, graphics, and also running replays and going to commercial breaks. So it was a very hectic and challenging environment. It was one that I embraced, but I would much prefer this new setting in which we have brand new, state-of-the-art, high-definition equipment that many sports broadcasting companies from around the country use. This is the industry standard that we're using now.
So when we jump to the Ross and the Expression and all of our Fujinon lenses and our Fujifilm cameras that we have now, there's no contest. We really jumped from a small, poorly put together room that was just thrown together overnight so we'd be able to put on broadcast to something that's the industry standard, and for a college like ours, state of the art.
The old room served its purpose. I mean, it's where we were able to run the production, but we also shared it with the pep band's equipment. So at the beginning of each game, they're trying to walk behind us and, move the equipment while we're kind of in the way. Then at the end of the game, we're still wrapping the production up, and then they're bringing all their equipment in. So it was just called this small closet that we had to work in, and that they worked around us and we worked around them.
The new setup is fantastic, and it is light years away from where we started, because whereas in the old days you had one person sitting at a terminal doing pretty much everything except running cameras, now we have a situation where we have a fully functional control room with about 6-7 different stations, each of which are manned by one, maybe in some cases even 2 people.
When I got there, honestly a small crew. It's about maybe 5 people the first game I ran, and we ran with less. And it's just been an amazing growth this past year with the new room.
We have a director, we have a technical director, we have a producer, we have a replay operator, we have a graphics operator, we have someone running strictly audio. So it's a much more professional environment and a much more fast-paced environment and a much more collaborative environment.
Previously graphics was simple. It was the time, maybe the shot clock, the score. Now we can throw stats in there. We can throw the upcoming schedule. We can update conference standings and scores across the league, in the game, instead of just, putting the bare bones on it. It just lets us do more.
The rim mics sound great. We have a slash cam. We have a jam cam, so you can get those dunks in close up. And if we are feeling really good, we can always throw that through our 3-play, and then all of our replays are awesome close-ups of people scoring buckets. You gotta love that.
With so many people now involved taking charge of one specific thing as opposed to one person doing many things or 2 people doing most of the load, now we can overlay graphics, we can update stats, we can do live player stats, we can update other games from around the league that are happening, in addition to prepping replays and prepping B-roll packages that we may like to run, or cutting to a commercial break. All of these things are now done by individual people, and we've seen our crew grow exponentially over the last couple of years, to the point this year we had the biggest overall crew of any school that is represented in the Missouri Valley Conference. So we've gone from a very small crew of about 2 to 5 people to now up to 18 to 20 people, depending on the broadcast, depending on the intricacy of what it is we're trying to do.
Corwin was running around at the beginning of each game trying to get everything together, and I was just sitting there on or on the replay station trying just to get my stuff together, just sitting there. I was like, hey, how can I help him? And he gave me a quick rundown of the graphics, and then I just kind of taught myself a little bit and asked him for some advice, and we just kind of built up from there.
I can now talk to talent, I can talk to the timeout coordinators, I can talk to anyone on the broadcast. And it's all just with a few clicks of buttons. It's going through a few channels of RTS. And it's given me the opportunity to communicate in such a way that we never really had before. Before, we had to hope that we timed out those breaks where they needed to be. We had to hope that the talent really knew what they were doing and at least tried to take cues from the few visuals we could actually give them. And we really went from that to having complete control of the broadcast, to give everyone that creativity where they needed it, but not force them to be creative on every single aspect.
The same with producing. Now we have one set producer who can actually talk to the talent. Previously it was just kind of, they were talking and we were showing the video, no real collaboration or working. It was just kind of them talking while we put up the sport.
I had a lot of fun. Looking back on it, it was also pretty miserable. We really did this because we loved it.
Our love for it, our passion for what we were doing, really helped everybody else discover a new love and a new appreciation for working in an area that they may have not ever even thought of working in before, to the point where we were getting so successful with it and wanted to up our game to the point where we brought in Ron Blatz as broadcast coordinator. He was hired in through athletics to sort of be the captain of this crazy ship that we call live athletics.
We all kind of want to be there. We enjoy what we do. Just kind of have to learn. As a team, we're all trying to help each other.
The crew is no contest. We have a bunch of students that want to be here as opposed to a bunch of athletes that just wanted some hours. And it went from this old crew that no one knew really what they were doing and they were just getting thrown into it, to a bunch of students and a few of us that stayed around a little longer, like myself, and really love what I do. And we all want to be there. We work every game not for the paycheck, but so we can do something that we're passionate about. And I am so grateful and so happy to have the opportunity to grow with this room virtually from start to finish. I got to come in like the first year it was here, and I'm still here. And I look forward to continuing that growth.
To watch it go from such a small seedling of an operation to now just a full forest of excited people and qualified people who are really passionate about learning, it's just been amazing.
Getting the opportunity to have the crew we have really gives us the chance to give each position the focus and dedication it deserves.
All of this experience that students are able to have during their college years at Valparaiso University in working with all of this high-tech industry standard equipment, that is something that's able to go on their resume, and they will be much more fully prepared to tackle all the work in any live television setting.